Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hearts of Iron 4, playing as every single minor nation. Today, as you probably saw in the thumbnail, and I think there's a little special something in there if you know what I mean, we will be playing as Australia, which, if you didn't already know about me, if you haven't watched the streams, I am half of one of these people, so I'm sort of half upside down, if you get the idea. In this episode today, I will be showing you how to play a historical Australia, a preparation for you to play on your own or in multiplayer games. While this isn't a definitive guide to Australia, this will give you a good idea on how to play the nation. We will be going over strategies, tips, techniques, how to use the politics tab. So much great fun, I'm so depressed. Yeah, actually that was just a thought experiment. I was trying to see what I could do with my voice, and I hate how the air wings are set up in Australia. They're all out of whack, they're all out of place, it's all very frustrating. But you know what? That doesn't matter, because today, we get to do additional militia training. Yay! I probably sound really weird right now because, like, I got a crappy mic, honestly, but you guys don't want to hear that. So we got guns, we got support equipment, we got artillery, we got, close air support, and we're gonna build convoys. We have 100, so you can hit shift click to add 100, or you can do control click to add 100 ships if you want to, add a certain number of ships. We're gonna hit shift click because we want to build 100 convoys so we can get up to 200. Do that. We want to research, oh wait, we already have the better guns. So we want to research according to the Commonwealth nations, because we get a bonus. As you can see here, because we are playing as a Commonwealth nation, we're going to get a little bit of a bonus. So, as you can see, the United Kingdom already researched trucks, and for some reason we have Ford vehicles, which is kind of strange. But I'm not going to question it, so we're just going to research the motorized truck, the thingamajiggeries. And we're also going to research electronic mechanical engineering, because the Allies also have that researched. We're going to build some civilian factories in Victoria, Queensland, and Western Australia, which really isn't Western Australia, because in real life all of this is Western Australia, and all of this is Queensland, and all of this is South Australia, yet for some reason it goes over here, and Victoria for some reason controls Adelaide, and Townsville is in Cairns. Welcome to Hearts of Iron 4, people, so let's get on with the game. Okay everyone, so I am back after a few months of gameplay, and we have accumulated our first 150 political power. Therefore, we will be spending it on a special something. But what is that? You might be thinking, ooh, we're gonna spend it on partial mobilization, and it's gonna be fancy and funcy, but no, we're gonna do it on free trade. Yeah, okay? Okay, so the reason that we're doing that is because, as Australia, you have a really tiny industry, very few civilian factories, so going to partial mob isn't really going to help you out. It's only real, but going to free trade, on the other hand, gives you research bonus, and factory output, and all sorts of stuff like that, and the research bonus, since you only have 2 research slots, is really important. Now also, another thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be working our way down to Australian Women's Army Service. That was a mouthful for me for some reason. And, because this gives us recruitable population. And we're Australia, we have no manpower, so we're gonna get lots of that juicy recruitable population. Okay? We have been accumulating some Army XP, so, we're gonna be spending it. What are we gonna be spending it on? Well, the strategy as Australia is that what we're going to do is we're going to have a bunch of, like, garrison divisions to garrison the ports. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a few super strong, super elite Australian attack divisions. If you notice, I am researching all of the things that the Commonwealth is researching. So after you finish electronic and mechanical computing, normally you'll research radio. And after you research the Ford truck, you'll probably end up researching basic machine tools. Another thing is, as Australia, want to be going down concentrated industry, because bombing and factory retention isn't as important as just getting the things pumped out with the extra 5% factory output. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing for the next little while. And once we get enough political power, we're probably going to be spending that on some research production thing. you could go to partial mode with the next thing, and I have been doing that recently. But one of the problems is that, like, when you go to partial mode, then when you get an election in September 1937, the people always vote that they want you to go down to early mode, which is, like, okay, but it's not the greatest, if you know what I mean. That's got 50, so let's do that one first before we do the extra research bonus, and, yeah. Okay, so also another thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making this the Australian Attack Division, so we're going to call it we'll call this HMAS Assault. Let's call this Australia's Finest. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 artillery in there. We'll get ourselves support, and we'll get ourselves a little bit of motorized recon, and that should be good for that for now. Cool. And what things have bonuses? Let's see. Alright, I guess we'll be going this. Alright, I'll come back to you once I have completed the next round of research and stuff. Okay? Okay, so we finished the Australian Women's Army Service. Now we will be starting our industrial focus, and we'll be rushing Department of Supply and Development so we can get an extra military factory. Okay, so that we can build some motorized. Yes, motorized. Okay, I'll come back to you once a little bit more has happened. Alright guys, I'm back. I took a little bit of a break to just sit and watch the timer tick down. I know it's very fun to do that in Hearts of Iron 4. It's the reason people play the game. But we have gotten to that point that I talked about earlier, where the public opposes rearmament. And because we don't want to lose, like, stability and war support, we're gonna go back to early mode. Yay. But, you know, it's okay. Actually, I think I forgot to tell you guys that I did go to partial mode. I decided to go just, you know, so for a year I could get the extra, you know, consumer goods factors. But I think it'll be okay. We have 8 now. It's all okay. So, another thing that I also decided to do is, instead of going the Department of Supply and Development, I decided to go down to expand the Lithgow small arms industry first. Because then we get 2 more civilian factories, and then we get 1 military factory factory and 2 building slots, which is rather nice. I've also done the support equipment research and the infantry genius, which is one of the advantages that Australia has. I am also currently researching all the oh my god, I don't know if I'm gonna edit that out. I'm gonna keep that in, guys. I'm also researching all of these support equipments except for these 2 because they're useless to me. So I'm researching field hospitals, logistics, and I'm researching signal companies. The reason for that is because field hospitals, I never do field hospitals. I hate field hospitals. This is the only exception, except probably when I play New Zealand or any nation that's fighting in the jungle and has a relatively small manpower and very little way of getting more manpower. I'm probably going to use field hospitals. So, like, okay, only Australia probably. This is probably the only time you're going to see me use field hospitals. But we are going to use them. Also, another thing is we are going to pop the logistics into Australia's Finest and keep on training those bad boys. We need them uppity up, and ready to go. We have been also researching submarines, so we're going to start building those after we're done with our convoys. We have been building CAS, and we're doing all this stuff, which is nice, and we're training, and I got this general here, so he's pretty nice. I gave him the offensive doctrine, organization first, and charismatic as his traits, and you might be thinking, wait a second, Patchy, oh my god, why'd you give him offensive doctrine? I mean, like, you're defending it. Okay, the reason that I did that, guys, is because, oh, field hospitals are done. If you look at where we're fighting, it sorta, maybe is a jungle. And when you fight in a jungle, you only get 70% attack. So if the field marshal in your army has extra attack, whenever Japan makes a naval invasion, your troops are going to be able to counterattack quicker on them. Now, so I've explained to you why we researched field hospitals, and I explained to you why we researched I didn't explain why we researched logistics. The reason we did that is because, well, jungles give lots of attrition and mountains give lots of attrition. So we're gonna need all the stuff that we can get with the whole attrition thing. I mean, all the buffs we can get with the whole attrition thing. So that's why we're getting logistics. And then you might be asking, well, why signal companies? Like, what's so great about them? All they give is, like, initiative and, like, a little bit of organization. Well, dear viewer, the reason that we are getting signal companies is because we're only putting them in our good divisions, the Australia's finest. And what we're doing with them is initiative gives a reinforce rate. Now, if we have divisions that are possibly going to be reinforcing a battle that we're most likely going to be losing because there's like an Japanese death stack approaching, well, if we have really fast reinforce rate, that means that once our divisions arrive at the location, they can enter the battle super quickly and they can deal as much damage to the Japanese as possible, repelling them from our shores, or actually more accurately Papua New Guinea shores, but that's beyond the point. It says Australia, so we're gonna count it as Australia. Okay, now that I've explained my methodology and I've said okay for the 15 millionth time, I will see you in a bit. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get the manpower, we're gonna get the war support. Manpower is good because we're Australian, we have no manpower. War support is good because, well, war support gives more mobilization speed, which gives more manpower. So we're doing that one. And look, now we have more manpower. Also, another thing is that now that we have 20% world tension, we can establish the Advisory War Council. I've gotten the War Industrialist because after we finish that, we're going to start building military factories. Okay? Capiche? Nice. Also, another thing is I have finished Australia. Well, not finished. I have to get rid of those two eventually. But the more divisions you have, battalions you have in a division, the more experience it gains. So I'm going to put that off until the last bit. But I have this Anzac Defense Force that I am currently building right now. It's going to have engineer companies, field hospitals, and probably... how much defense? And probably these two. And... I don't know. Maybe all of these. I don't know. Yeah, I might put all three of these in, to be honest. I love support equipment. Support equipment is great. Or maybe I'm just a weirdo, but I think support equipment is amazing. It's, like, so good. Especially when you get superior firepower, because as you can see, when you go down superior firepower and you go down integrated support, each support company gets an extra 25% soft attack and organization. So you can just get a bunch of town with divisions like this, pop all the supporter companies in, and you just like are a soft attack death wall because you can have 8 divisions that are 10 combat with, because supporter companies have no combat with, attacking like 2 40 with divisions that are still 80 combat with, and even though pound for pound, the 40 with combat divisions battalions, like the infantry battalions, have more soft attack, because you have 4 times the amount of support companies, you like destroy them. Now obviously we can't really do superior firepower because we get the bonuses to Grand Battle Plan from the Commonwealth of Nations, but still, I mean, like, if you were playing a multiplayer and you got everyone to, like, agree to switch over to superior firepower, then you could totally do what I just described. Oh, also, we have a bunch of political power now, so I guess we should go back to partial mob? I don't know. Guess we could. It's not gonna hurt. We could get industrial concern. We'll do that. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna just pop this dude in. Just go that. And also, the reason that we get motorized recon is because motorized recon gives extra reconnaissance. And the more reconnaissance that you have means that you're more likely to pick an attack plan that counters the enemy's attack. And motorized give defense. So, yeah. I'll be right back to you once the next round of research is done. And we have gotten citizen military forces so that we can bump up to limited conscription. Alright, see you then. Alright, so I have now finished a few of the next national focuses. I finished Volunteer Defense Corps, the Citizen Military Forces, National Security Act, and the Army Inventions Directorate. And while I was going down these focuses, I realized that I've made a wee bit of a mistake. And that mistake is that I accidentally got Citizen Military Forces before Army Inventions Directorate. And why is that so important? Well, Army Inventions Directorate may or may not allow you to have a third research slot, and you kind of want to rush your research slots, because that gives you more time to research. So, don't do what I did, get research slot before you get manpower, and then start building divisions. As you can see here, I have been building divisions. I've been building a bunch of the Anzac Defense Squadron, and now I'm building some of Australia's finest. I have been researching Grand Battle Plan, and you want to continue researching that now continuously until you finished it. And make sure that you go down the right side, it's better, and it also gives you some reconnaissance. And reconnaissance is very good in this game. It is, I wouldn't say it's overpowered, but in my opinion, reconnaissance wins wars, not soft attack. Because it's amazing if you have the best soft attack in the world. But if you decide to do a blitz when when the enemy is fully entrenched and knows exactly what you're going to do because they have twice the reconnaissance, well, then you're going to be in a bit of a pickle, if you know what I mean. Also, another thing that I want you guys to remember to do is that I want you guys to remember to garrison this port in West Papua, because Hollandia does get naval invaded by the Japanese, and then your New Guinea is taken, and then you're sad and depressed. So yeah. Anyways, I will be back when some more has happened, and if I haven't mentioned it already, you probably saw in the thumbnail, but this is going to be a two-part sort of episode for Australia, where this is the first part where I will be showing you guys the pre-war period, and the next episode will be me micromanaging and screaming at my computer as I died to Japan, because the Allies never help Australia, because who cares about Australia? Alright, maybe I ranted a little bit too much, and I'm sad that... Well, maybe not sad. I'm annoyed that the British sent us to die in 2 wars. But, you know, I mean, old habits never die, does the British. You can't blame them for too much. They did starve most of India at some point. Let's see, who do we want to next? Let's get the Army Defense, because he's an expert. Experts are better than specialists. Anyways, I'll be back once the, good old war has started. Well, or maybe a little before that. I don't know. I'll be back soon. You know. Alright, finally. I've been staring at the clock a really long time, guys, but Germany is finally doing Danziger War. I mean, like, I'm very confused. I've never seen Germany wait this long to do Danziger War. It's April of 1940. I mean, give me a break. I am running out of focuses to do, and and I have an actual focus tree, guys. I mean, like, come on. Anyways, at least this has given me time to organize my divisions in... It's cans, but it's town. Anyways, now that I'm very frustrated that Townsville is in cans on this map. It's so frustrating. Maybe it is to me and not to anybody else. But anyways, finally the war is going to begin soon, and I can end my pain. I mean, I can stop making the YouTube video for today, and I can go and have some dinner. Yip, yip, yip. Isn't it hip? It's hip, hip, hooray. Also, another thing, if you haven't noticed, is I've been banking political power, and I did, what is it called? Construction Excavation 3, so that I could take a decision that's no longer here to put a bunch of bauxite or aluminium in Tasmania. So now we have some aluminium in Tasmania, and we still have to trade for it. We theoretically no longer should have to trade for it. I've also gone on to export focus, you know, so that we can get a few more resources, and finally, we shall hopefully, finally, now, sorta, kinda be at war. Please let me be at war. I just wanna be. Come on, game, let me. Yay. Please? Please? I don't wanna take this focus yet. I wanna... Maybe, is the UK in the war? UK, is this? Alright, okay, there we go. So, are we gonna... I mean, like, I can't stop the video until we're at war. Finally. We did it, guys. We're at war. We can finally do invest in victory, and we can actually fix the world. We are gonna go to... We have to do that. Alright, well, we will at least go to war economy. And then we'll go to limited conscription. But that's it for me today. Come back for part 2, where we will be continuing as Australia and trying not to die. And not helping the British, because who cares about the British? If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Click the bell button. Share this with a friend. If you have any questions, comment them down below. Haven't had too many comments yet to respond to, but if I do get any comments with serious, actual questions, I will try and respond them to the best of my abilities. Please check out our other series and playlists, and I'll catch you later. Peace. Patchymonger, out.